Welcome everybody to a webinar on how AI is going to impact training and education. I'll start with a little bit about myself. My name is Sach Chaudhari, and I'm the founder and CEO of Paradiso Solutions. We are an end-to-end e-learning platform as well as services provider. We've been in market for over 12 years now. And 3 years ago, I started another AI-based startup called CogniSpark, which is an AI authoring tool, and Indra AI, which is an AI-based AI companion, tutor, and coaching platform. So I thought I'll give you a little bit of background about me. So I started at PTC in Cincinnati, which is about 6,500 employees, then Documentum in Silicon Valley, and EMC, which had about 25,000 employees in San Francisco. The reason I'm telling you this because these experiences really gave me an insight into what's it like to be a learner, a corporate learner, as well as an executive at EMC, I was making decisions on where and how much funds to allocate for L&D and various training programs. So that really helped me later on in my career at Paradiso. After working for a few years, I went to Harvard Business School, and there, one of the person who influenced my career the most, Dr. Robert Kaplan, he's the inventor of balanced scorecard. And a balanced scorecard really kind of got me into how business goals and alignment in the organization, how that can really fuel the growth of your organization. And one of the four aspects of balanced scorecard is learning and development. So after Harvard, I started Paradiso Solutions, and over last 12 years, I have worked with over 500 clients in L&D field, served over 5 million plus users. And these are some of the clients we have worked with, OnePlus, Amway, IBM, Air India, Johnson and Johnson, and so on and so forth. Now, along the way, whenever we ran into limitations to existing frameworks or model, I've been working on creating new frameworks and model. One of the model, which is 4M skills framework. Basically, it's competency and skill-based training for mainly for professional services organizations. That framework is being used for many companies across the world. Transformation acceleration framework, which helps in employee transformation. Revenue acceleration framework for companies which make revenue by selling training, whether it's associations, training companies. So, and I frequently speak at various conferences. Now, in terms of AI, I come from technical background. I have about 11 patents by USPTO granted on my name. We were the first company, Paradiso was the first company to launch AI tutor, AI authoring tool, AI simulation tool to simulate real scenarios. And we were the first company to introduce AI inside the LMS. So we have really been investing heavily in AI well before it was hot, right? So ChatGPT really created the whole PR flood, but we've been investing in AI from last 5 years. And I'm angel investor in some of the AI startups. So this really gives me the cutting edge knowledge of where the AI is, right? And be able to kind of move the field forward. So I have the background of 15 plus years of experience in L&D, as well as over a decade, I've been studying AI, and not just studying, but building products, testing them in the market for last 5 years. So combine that, whatever lessons I learned while talking to CEOs in many different countries, including some governments, whatever conversation I had, the learnings I had, I try to summarize this in this short webinar. If you have questions, there is a Q&A button. Just click on that, click on ask a question, send your questions along the way. And at the end of the webinar, we will address your questions. And if you don't get time, I'll personally email you back the answers to your questions. So now, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how generative AI is going to transform content creation, how AI is impacting the learner experience, the impact of AI on jobs, L&D jobs, uh, and how do we take advantage of this opportunity in AI, and a brief demo of some of the applications we have built for L&D in using AI. So who is this for, right? So AI is going to impact everybody from truck driver to all the way to astronaut. So unless you are some tribe in Amazon, who is not in touch with technology, everybody else is affected by AI. So in L&D, that means consultants, L&D managers, CLOs, instructor designers, course designers, all of them, all of these people can get something out of this webinar. And this applies to corporate as well as education sector. So my promise is I'll give you at least 5 new insights which you can take home to be back to your work. And I hope you take at least one action uh, coming out of these insights, and really follow through on this new journey we are on, which is transformation using AI. Now, this is how our training workflow looks like in almost all organizations. We plan, that's a strategy, budget allocation. Then we develop content, the courses, the curriculums, the workshops. Then we deliver it to students or employees, and then we analyze, right? That's a typical workflow. Now, where does AI play a role in all of these 4 areas, right? So we're going to start out with development of content. So as we develop content, we start with storyboard for online content. So AI can, within minutes, create great storyboard with different scenarios, different methodologies of doing instruction design. And one of the tools I'm going to show you now, it can create storyboard, which pretty much completes the storyboard 80-90% of the way. And the instructor designer just has to do the last 10%. And in terms of creating content for the slides for your courses, the description, the bullet points, that can be done through AI with single click. Uh, Videos, spokesperson videos can be done. So that saves you many hours of shooting, editing, and hiring the actors. All that time gets saved by using AI-based spokesperson videos. Voiceover. We recently did a survey with 127 people. We send them 2 audio clips in an email without telling them which one is AI, which one is a real human. And 70% of the respondent got it wrong. They thought what is AI was made by human and what was human made by AI. So the voiceover, especially in last 18 months, those models of working with audio, the machine learning models have really surpassed the basic limitation, the basic kind of drawbacks all of them had was about the intonation and the toning and sounding robotic. Now they sound human-like, or sometimes, in cases better than human, because then they can deliver without any errors. Images, we all know, and AI can create images which can be used in your courses, in your presentations. Interactivity can be added through AI. And translations. With one click, you can translate the course into Spanish, English, Hindi, Arabic. And those translation, are they perfect? No. But can they do 90% of the work? Yes. I mean, that's a huge saving in resources and in time. So all of these different components of online learning can be easily automated today with tool like Cognispark, and you can have a course done using AI. Now, if you are mostly doing face-to-face training, then your presentations can be done through AI. Videos, which can be added in your presentations, handouts, training manuals, translation, all of those could be done through AI and save the resources. And now, how does this look like, right? The AI course factory, it takes two inputs. One is the objectives. So you would tell this platform that I want beginner's course in leadership, or I want advanced course for AWS system administrator. So that's the objective. What's the outcome you want? What's the objective you want? What's the impact you want to have? That's one input. The second is the raw content. So if you have a proprietary knowledge, which most of the organization have, right? So the way Air India trains their employee is not the same as other airlines, for example. So you may have a training manual, you may have intranet where you have all the content, you may have your website, you may have Zoom recordings. One of our client, their subject matter expert, we're training on Zoom to their employees for last 3 years. And these last 3 years, they have created about 50 recordings of the training sessions. That's the raw material for this factory, right? It could be a text like a training manual. It could be a video like Zoom recordings or any videos or audios. So you take any of these formats, whatever raw material or content you have, you can feed it to this factory, and the AI, a good AI tool, will spit out a course, a complete course, using your proprietary knowledge. And I get a question a lot: what happens to my proprietary knowledge, the private data I have? Will that be shared on internet? No. So the data stays with you. The machine learning model just uses it to get you the output, but the data belongs to you. The final course, the IP, the intellectual property of the final course or the content belongs to you, and the raw material also belongs to you. And in the end, what you get is a course which would have taken you 2 months and probably five to $10,000 to make. You'll be able to make that probably in 1 or 2 hours. And we're going to see a quick demo of that soon. Now, let me kind of give you a brief kind of overview. The entire demo will take me an hour. We don't have that much time. So I'll just give you a brief overview of how a tool like Cognispark can help you in content development. And after that, we'll get into learner experience and L&D jobs and other topics. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second and share my demo. Pranay, let me know if you can see the Cognispark screen, the demo screen.
Yes, it is visible, Sach.
Okay, so this is the homepage, right? So Cognispark is basically we made a Canva or a studio for e-learning and training professionals, right? So what do training professional need? They need an ability to generate content. So what kind of content? It could be a course outline, it could be a course outline, study material, quizzes, lesson content, storyboards. You can generate any of these content, with one click and a little bit of description, and you will get the entire storyboard or a course outline or quizzes out here. So that's the first part of the AI, which is helping you to generate content or presentation. Then we also have videos which you can generate through AI, spokesperson videos with different kind of avatars with different ethnic background, different ages, and male, female, and different voices. You can create different kinds of videos, spokesperson videos, which look, they don't look 100% human, but they are very, very close. And some people, when we do the surveys, not able to distinguish unless we tell them ahead of the time these are AI. They may not be able to distinguish whether it's AI or non-AI. So that's video, translations, voiceovers. So any kind of media you need for training, whether it's content, whether it's video, audio, translations, images, all of that media can be made here. And if you combine all these media and add a very sophisticated machine learning model, it can create an entire end-to-end course. So our machine learning model has been trained in thousands and thousands of course samples from last 20 years. We took all that data. It's been trained as an instructor designer from the best instructor designers in the world. We took all their principles, all their models, all their frameworks. We added something on top of that. We took all the good examples of instruction designs, hundreds and hundreds of them. We fed into our model and we continually keep refining our model, and it's getting better and better. So that's the magic, right? To build a AI tool is to build your machine learning model. So I'll show you a quick example of how a course might look like once it goes through this engine and be able to create a full course. So this course has been created by AI. It's going to take a second to load here. And so all the media for this course comes from all the tools I was showing you, the video, the voiceovers, the storyboard, and it gets combined here. This theme gets created automatically. So you can see these interactions. So this video was created by AI. Let me make sure I'm sharing the audio so you can hear it.
Mere power. Ascending a career ladder is not the sole indicator of true leadership. The true measure lies in the way an
Pranay, are you able to hear the audio?
wields their
Yes, I'm able to hear
Leadership
the
is
audio,
not
but
about the
it's a
position
bit
held.
low.
It's about the responsible
Okay,
and impactful
one
use of
second.
that position. It's a reflection
Let
of character,
me.
integrity, and the ability to inspire others. Remember, true leadership isn't found in titles. It's revealed in
Okay, so I'm going to show you the video in a second as soon as this loads. I'll stop sharing and share with audio again. Just a second. Share audio. Yes. Okay. You can see my course, Pranay.
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay, let's see if we can hear the audio.
Welcome to a world where leadership transcends the ordinary. In the corporate realm, a great leader is
Are you able to hear it, Pranay?
I'm able to hear it, but it's still very low. Maybe
Okay,
it's
I'll
just
just
how it
play
is
so
coming
they can
out.
at least see the video quality.
more than a title. They are an inspiration. Picture a visionary who looks beyond profit margins and KPIs, prioritizing the health and well-being of their team. Adaptability is their forte.
So you may be seeing some lag because we have the webinar going on. But if you see it on your computer, this video, the lips, the movements are smooth. That doesn't, come out really well on a screen sharing. But this video, there's the eye movements, the body language, it's very natural. It doesn't look robotic.
Navigating through change with a crystal clear vision. They're not just listeners, they're champions of diverse ideas, creating
So we have many models like this coming from different background, the age group, and those could be use in any of your courses with various voices. So different languages, different accents, different style. So you can use these spokesperson videos in your courses and make it a lot more interactive without having to spend a lot of money in actually recording a human video. Also, the voiceover can be added automatically to your course through AI.
In the realm of leadership, it's crucial to distinguish.
And these voiceovers are not same as what content you're seeing on the screen. So the AI automatically takes your context of your slide. It converts that into a script, and then converts that script, the text script, into a voice of whichever voice you choose. And I'll show you in a little bit the different voices we have. It can create quizzes, and it also knows the right and wrong answer. It can check the answer, so on and so forth. So it can pretty much do end-to-end course. I'm going to go back here and we're going to briefly attempt creating a couple of slides. So the entire demo of authoring tool takes about 40 minutes. We don't have that much time. So I'm going to briefly tell you just the skeleton of it and attempt to make a slide or two here using AI. So I'm going to click on create course. I can create course using AI or just use this authoring tool as a regular authoring tool. So even if you're not into AI and you're looking for a easy to use, powerful authoring tool, you can check out CogniSpark. And the last thing is import content. So if you have, let's say, a 300-page training manual, and your boss said, okay, we need to convert this into an e-learning course or a face-to-face course, you just feed that 300-page manual here. Let's say you have 5 different PowerPoint presentations. You can feed that in. So feed whatever raw content you want to feed. And from that content, it can create a professional storyboard. And then the storyboard gets converted to a course and a quiz, and the entire end-to-end operation will take you probably 7 to 10 minutes. That's it, right? So right now we're not going to feed any content because uploading that takes time. But I'm going to show you directly using our machine learning models with the knowledge it has. Can it create a course? So let's say Python programming, right? Could be just an example. Python programming course for beginners. Okay, I just give it the description. Of course, the more detailed the description about your audience, your impact you want to have, the better you're going to get. You can choose how long, how big of a course you want. Obviously, you'll choose probably 30 to 50 slides. In this case, we're going to choose just few, just because we need to get going with the demo. And you can choose whether you want images there. Do you want voiceovers in here? What kind of voiceovers you want. You can choose that. Let's just choose this. If you want a video, the video takes a little bit of time to build, like about 4 or 5 minutes per video. So we're not going to choose that. I just want to give you a quick rundown of this and a mini kind of overview, if you will, of this tool. Now, what it's doing is in the background, it's trying to build what would this person require. So it's on the fly, it built this, right? This is the table of content. And if I don't like it, I can edit it. I can hit the edit and I can choose for this particular start coding with Python. Do I want a voiceover? Do I want an image? Let's just choose that. And so on and so forth. I can choose different things and then start creating. Now it's starting to create the content. And once it creates the content, it will create images, videos, voiceovers, quizzes, all that thing follows as a factory, as an AI factory. So you can see how fast it is. And of course, the speed is not the criteria, right? If you're making a course for hundreds of employees, if it's taking 3 minutes versus 13 minutes, that doesn't matter to you, but you want a quality, right? So I given it very little parameters so it can move fast. Now we should be seeing in a moment the different slides getting created. So you can see these are just 2 slides. Now it will start adding third, fourth, other slides it can start adding. And while it's doing that, you can using this tool, you can change, let's say you don't like this background, right? You can choose a different theme going here. Now, as you can see, the second slide has come up. The third is getting built in the factory. So if I go to themes, meanwhile, I don't like this theme. If I just choose, click on some other theme or this theme, it in a moment, it chooses whatever theme you want. And if I want to translate the same course into 10 languages, all I have to do is one click. What used to take months and thousands of dollars hiring an agency and whatnot, now it will take literally a few minutes and you have an entire course, including the voiceover, including the videos, including all the slides translated in any of these 70 plus languages. So if I scroll down here, you can keep looking. Danish and Dutch, Finnish, some of the Indian languages are here, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Malayalam. All of that is available because of the power of AI at our fingertip using this kind of modern tools. If I go back to the slides while I was talking to you for the last couple of minutes, it's been building the slides in the background. So there you go. It has built these many slides. And again, if I had given a proper more inputs, it would make more sophisticated course and the images and whatnot. But if you want a detailed demo of this tool, uh, there'll be a link right now in the chat. You can click on that, book a demo, or send us an email. That information is available there and even in the slides here. So I'm going to kind of switch the gears right now and go back to our presentation. So I'll stop sharing. Just a second here. Okay, so we got until this. Pranay, let me know if you see my presentation in the presentation mode.
Yeah, it's visible to me.
And the slides are moving. Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about the course creation maturity model, right? Like how this is going to mature. This is where AI is right now. So when I do benchmark every month where how good of our course is. If I compare it to a best instruction designer, best course designer in the world, um, I would say it's about 75%, 75, 80%. That's where AI is today. We were just 3 months ago, we were at 65% when we did the benchmark. So every month, we are moving forward and forward and forward. And if you have AI, which is doing 70% of your work, and then you have a human, you combine them together, like the symbol is showing the human and the AI friends, right? Then you're much more powerful than a human who is not using an AI. It's like, the Native Americans were trying to fight using arrows, bows and arrows, and Europeans had guns. So the guns will always win, right? So if you have AI, and as AI is getting better and better, the organization, the professionals who know AI, who are leveraging AI, they will always zoom past the people who do not have AI. Right, so that's the situation today where the course is not really ready to publish. You still need to spend a couple hours on it compared to 2 months. I would always spend 2 hours, right? 2, 3 hours just finishing, editing the course is not much of a deal. But what's going to happen in coming months and coming years as AI keeps developing, right? As we keep investing in our R&D, the AI will make courses which are much better than humans. It's hard for you to fathom right now, but this has happened over and over again in our human history where machines and tools are much better than humans. Simple example, a screwdriver, try putting a screw using your hand, you will bleed. and a simple screwdriver is much more powerful than a human. So tools, technology, if it continues to evolve, you sometimes or many times does better than human. And in this case, in generative AI case, that's going to happen. Okay. And then what ends up happening is then the role of the humans change. And we're going to talk about that in the jobs section in next 10 minutes or so. Again, a quick reminder. If you have questions, don't hold back. Concerns, questions about privacy, whatnot. Click on Q&A, ask questions, send a question. Those get listed, come to us, and we'll address them at the end. And if you're looking for demo, this is my email, sach@paradisosolutions.com, or you can just book it on the website because I realized the demo was pretty short. But I would rather focus on, the mindset and the technology, the concepts. The demo can be done anytime. We talked about development of content. Now let's talk about delivery, right? The learner experience. That's the second step. We have built a framework called Accelerated Learning GPS, ALG for short, right? I won't go in a lot of details, but just real quickly, if you look at difficulty and skill level, so this is high difficulty, low difficulty, high skills, low skills. Let's take an example where I have an employee who is trying to learn machine learning and it's a high difficulty, but his skill level, he hardly knows anything about data science. His skill level is low. This is the quadrant he is in. He's going to suffer anxiety, right? If the skill level is low and the difficulty level is low, that's boring, right? Or he's very sophisticated programmer, data scientist, and you're teaching him basics of data science. So the difficulty level is low, skill is high, they're going to get bored again. So that brings me to accelerated learning zone. What happens in this zone, and again, as a reminder, we're talking about the delivery, the learner experience here, right? If you can create a learner experience where moment to moment, lesson to lesson, concept to concept, continuously, as they start to learn new skills, they get little confidence in one concept, you raise the difficulty level just by a little bit. And as soon as the difficulty level goes too high, they start getting into anxiety, you switch it back to lower level of skill, difficulty level. If your technology can do that, you can have accelerated learning, whether it's your kids, you yourself, your employees. If you want to have accelerated learning, you want to have a platform, an experience where you're continuously matching the difficulty level and skill level, right? And who does that, right? Great one-on-one mentors and tutors do that. That's why, if your kid is failing, if one of your employees having problem, you assign a mentor, one-on-one mentor, because they can continuously adapt. They can adapt to the student level. They can personalize their message, right? And they can keep engaged. That happens in one-on-one human experience. And these parameters are lower in group and much lower in the selfless e-learning. Now, what if we can take this great experience of accelerated learning, which we get through one-on-one, and use technology and create a platform which can do one-on-one tutoring without having to use humans as a tutor or as a mentor or as a coach? Then you can scale it 24/7, from poorest of the poorest students to the richest, anybody, everybody across the world, we can have the best quality of education for adults as well as kids. So we came up with a framework called Convo Learning. It's conversational learning. Conversational learning is natural. One-on-one tutoring, the great teachers, the great coaches, they bring dialogue and give you a paradigm shift, give you a transformation, change your views, change your world views through dialogue, through asking right questions, by giving nudges. It's natural. And this tutor, the AI tutor, has all the knowledge in the world since the beginning of the human civilization till today. These machine learning models have been fed all the knowledge, the public knowledge, plus it has been fed your organization knowledge. And mind you, once you feed this organization knowledge, it stays private. It only stays for your organization. Now you are better than any human being in the planet because you have all the knowledge and it's available 24/7. The AI never gets tired or sleepy. So that's convo learning framework. And based on that, we have built this AI coach. We call it AI companion. We call it companion because it can act like a tutor. It can act like a teacher, a mentor, an assistant, right? So it's AI companion framework. We call it Indra AI. It's adaptable, right? So if you're, as a student start interacting with our AI tutor through voice, through video, whichever, or text, it adapts. What level are this? What emotional state this employee is in? Because through the video, through their intonation, through the language they use, we can know that it adapts itself. It's personalized. This tutor has infinite memory. It never forgets anything. So if you took a leadership, you understood a leadership concept using this AI tutor 3 months ago, it remembers that. And now you're talking to tutor or coach and you're running into some issues with your coworker and you're discussing with the coach, it remembers what you have learned in last 2 3 months. It can use that as a reference and build on top of that. It creates that accelerated learning GPS, right? So it's very personalized because it has the memory. It remembers. See the old chatbots, which we equate AI to chatbot, which chatbots came in 10 years ago. They miserably failed because they didn't have memory. They weren't adaptable. They were pretty much sophisticated Google. Very passive. You ask a question, you get an answer. That's it. That's not AI coach or AI tutor is. It surpasses most of the human in terms of the being personalized. Delivery style. So depending on whether you like short answer, long answer, funny answer, examples, it adjusts its delivery style. As I said, it can match or even exceed most of the tutors, instructors, trainers, teachers in the world because it has all this power which humans will not have, every minute of the day. It's effective. Effective means it can understand human emotions. It doesn't have its own emotion. Indra doesn't have its emotion, but it can understand and work with your emotion. It has been trained into emotional intelligence through hundreds and hundreds of machine learning model, hundreds of human models, which we fed into AI tutor. So what we try to do, see, if you wanted just a bot, we'll just feed in a bunch of information, right? That will make a bot, that will make another Google. But what we wanted, not just information, we wanted somebody who can transform, who can motivate, who can be with you, who can become your companion, your friend, your coworker. So we have fed the best teaching models. We have fed different personality types, so it can work with any personality. We have fed it understanding of all human emotions and the subtleties of that and how to deal with that. So that's what make it a super technology, superhuman, if you will, right? It has an inbuilt GPS. I keep using this word GPS. What does a GPS do? It takes two inputs, your origin, where you are today, where you want to go, and it navigates you through. Take left here, take right here, go straight. It adjusts moment to moment to moment. We all have used GPS, Google Maps. Now this tutor acts like a GPS with your employees, with your students. If you are in an education market, you learning Newton's first law. Okay, then the coach asks, do you know the applications of it? Okay, the student is failing. It adjusts itself. It starts giving examples of how to use Newton's first law. What are the practical application? Then it quizzes again the student. It goes back and forth, back and forth. If you are teaching Python to your employees or machine learning to your employees, it does the same thing. It acts like a GPS. All you have to do is give it an origin where you are, and that they find out the moment students start talking to the coach, the AI coach, it knows where you stand, what is your level. And you already told it what objective the student has. He wants to become proficient in these Python modules. That's the destination, and just leave it. It will work the magic, and through the GPS technology, it will adjust its learning. And that's what creates accelerated learning and engagement. Digital twin. Let's say you are an author, you are a leadership coach, you have written 10 books, you have hundreds of podcasts. Feed all that data, and your author, let's call him John. We can create a digital twin. So John is available 24/7, every part of the world for a fraction of cost, and he can coach employees. That's the digital twin. And that's possible today through Indra AI and some of the other technologies. So that's the framework on which we have built the AI companion. And it's voice enabled, right? You can talk back and forth. I'll just briefly show you what different kinds of assistant you can create. I'm going to stop sharing and share this presentation, share my desktop. Then let me know if you see example. Can you see my screen?
It's coming up for me. Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. All right. So in your course, like whether this is leadership course, you can add a tutor as a teaching assistant, right? Here it can add, and you can start talking to this tutor as if you're talking to a teaching assistant or a coach. You can do that. And you can build different kinds of tutors. So you could have a financial advisor, you could have a leadership coach, you could have programming coach. You could, for your kids, you could have a high school AI tutor, so on and so forth. And our platform, the Indra AI platform, the AI assistant platform, helps you create these using your proprietary data or a public data, right? So of course, if you have a technology, a chemical company, and you have your own technology, you will have to feed that technology to this tutor so it can teach your employees. So there are different types of AI assistant you can create, the different avatars of Indra, if you will. So it could be a therapist, it could be a leadership coach, financial advisor, a teacher. So since I'm doing multiple things right now, my camera and all that, so the system is a little slow with hundreds of people on the webinar. But so here you can see previously this student. I'll give you an education example as opposed to corporate just to start, just so you can relate. Everybody can relate because we have a lot of directors, academic directors on the webinar today. They can also see this apart from the L&D professionals. So let's just go here. I'll ask it. Explain me Newton's first law in simple language. So what it's doing is, as if I'm talking to a tutor, it takes my input as a voice, or I can type, or if I have my webcam on, I can talk to this tutor, Indra, and through my facial language, through my intonation, it understands my emotional state.
Of
Okay,
course,
here.
John. Newton's first law says that if nothing is messing with an object, it will either stay still or keep moving straight without stopping or changing speed.
Okay, so Pranay, were you able to hear the answer?
Yes, it was audible to me.
Okay, so like that, I can keep going. So now I will say, no, I didn't understand. So I'll just click here, explain more, and it will go back and explain. I can have a back and forth conversation. Now imagine this being a sales training. Let's take a corporate example now, right? So your sales guy joined and he can ask about your company, your product, your pricing, as if it's talking to a real sales trainer. And he can do that on his mobile, at home, on weekends, nights, whenever he wants. And he doesn't have to be ashamed of asking same question again and again. The AI tutor will not get tired, and it will adjust like a GPS, the level of difficulty, right? I can go on and on. Similarly, here the financial advisor is talking about mutual funds, and all these are
All
the.
right, John, let's dive a bit deeper into Newton's first
Okay,
law.
so it started explaining more here.
Newton's first law is sometimes called the law of inertia. Inertia is just a fancy word that means an object wants to keep doing what it's doing unless something else changes that. Let's use the example of a soccer ball.
Now you saw, I didn't tell it anything about soccer ball or anything, right? Because I've been talking to this, and the Indra knows I like soccer and all that. It's so smart. It's like many times it amazes me. I would rather learn with this rather than a teacher who is tired of teaching the same thing for last 40 years, right? So you can see the power of this technology for your employee transformation through sales training, onboarding, through your higher education, right? And as I said, many times it exceeds our expectations. It does better than human being at a fraction of cost. All right, let's go back to our presentation because we have a lot of things to cover. Again, as a reminder, if you want a demo or a trial of this, um, in a Q&A, send a message with your name, and Pranay will make sure that we arrange a demo or a discussion for you. I'm going to go back to the presentation, and okay, let's see here. Let me know, Pranay, when you see the screen.
Yeah, I can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay. So the future roadmap, right? It will start out as a digital twin, which I showed you. Eventually, it will become a digital twin in metaverse. So in metaverse, you will be able to interact with all your senses. You'll be able to see them move, see them talk, see them cry, whatever, right? And interact with them as if they are real humans. But the technology which we're building in there will be the foundation for that metaverse product. And then in certain cases, in many cases, we'll have a physical incarnation of this as a robot, right? The software is already there. What I just showed you, it will be in the physical world as robot teachers. So the Indra, the AI Indra will start as just as a coaching assistant, teaching assistant, a tutor. Eventually, it will start to do work for you as your assistant. So for the sales scenario, I said the sales training for a new employee. Once John is trained for the first 2 months, then John will start to use Indra to do proposals. He will start asking Indra, give me pricing for 100 users for European region with this feature. It will create a proposal. It is becoming now assistant. After being assistant, it will become a coworker. It will start sitting next to John, hypothetically, metaphorically speaking. It will start doing sales, right? Eventually, it will become a manager, and who knows, a CEO. It will run, you'll have a whole gamut, whole army of these AI assistants or managers doing the work for you, right? Now, let's talk about learner experience on LMS side. On LMS side, right now, our LMS experience from last 20 years has been very boring, right? Student come in, they click on a course, and that's pretty much it. Now, what if right now what we did is we embedded Indra in LMS? It could be Paradiso LMS, Docebo, or any LMS you want. You can embed it there. You can start talking to Indra, and as I said, Indra knows all your history. It adapts to you, and it can start giving you answers and take you to your courses and your learning paths, and kind of be there for you within LMS. AI can obviously analyze all the data, the learner engagement. So that's another area where AI is very, very powerful. And I'm not going to go too much detail into this because this is pretty much everybody knows the analytics part. Let's talk about, a lot of time I get question about jobs. What's going to happen to jobs? So obviously millions of jobs are going to get replaced, displaced, lost. right? So as a L&D, you want to think about humans' role in connecting and thinking, and AI will do most of the doing. That's the basic framework of how to think about future. So, for example, if you're an instructor designer and you're creating a storyboard, that doing will most likely go to AI. What you will be doing is you will be acting more like a composer or a conductor in an orchestra, as opposed to playing an instrument. You'll be connecting with human. You'll be thinking about experiences and dreaming what you want to do, thinking, dreaming, connecting, not doing actual stuff, actual work, right? So as a L&D manager, you want to think of, instead of doing trainings, managing training, you want to think yourself as agent of transformation, right? How can I expedite, accelerate transformation in my organization? And there's a great time for L&D managers to become heroes, because the biggest disruption in human civilization is already here, which is AI. Every company, every human being is going to get disrupted, get confused, chaos is everywhere. So L&D can take that role of a leader, where it's taking that organization, your school, your company, your nonprofit, and doing the change management. And if you want to bring AI in your organization so you can survive the competitor, you want to lead by example. So start bringing AI, the AI coach, AI tutor, AI based LMS, AI based course authoring into your organization, so you can start taking mini step and lead by example. So if L&D is adopting AI, L&D gives this AI to all the employees on their onboarding, on the first day, on their onboarding, in their upskilling, reskilling. The employees are getting climatized. They are getting familiar with AI, so that the marketing department, the engineering department, they will feel comfortable doing AI transformation in their own departments. So you want to lead by example. And this is your chance to be in front of the executives and be on their radar, because L&D is no more optional thing. Like it's not an afterthought anymore. L&D will be crucial in leading this transformation with HR. So it's a great opportunity for L&D managers. Instructor designers need to think in terms of learning experiences designing, as opposed to writing storyboards and whatnot. Learn new tools, the Convo learning tools such as Cognispark and what have you. Get into metaverse kind of training. But the basic instructor designer jobs will be mostly gone, 70-80% of them. The course designer, um, 70% of the editing job, any kind of editing, film editing, video editing, audio, text, are gone in next couple of years, right? So you want to move towards more of experience designing as opposed to course designing, right? Um, Now, as your career or as a leader of your organization, when you think about AI, keep one framework in mind, one mental model in mind. Direction is more important than speed. So some companies, if they go in the right step, some companies, some professionals, they take the right step, they partner with the right company, they will be hugely, massively successful. And many companies, many professionals are going to get outdated. That's just a fact with this, right? So your direction, who you're choosing, which direction, what learning you're doing, what transformation you're doing in yourself and in your organization, which path you're taking, even if it's a slow path, whether it's an experimental path, that path is more important than running at full speed towards the cliff with your current trajectory. That's what you don't want, right? So what is the framework for choosing right partner for in context of training, right? Training platforms, training companies. So you want a mix of traditional and AI based, right? Because in 2024 we are not fully at AI yet for learning, right? So you want a platform which has both. Thought leadership. See, we are going in an unknown territory. even with my expertise, my study in AI for last 10 years, even I am unsure about some of the ways metaverse or robotics is going to go. So you want somebody who is at the cutting edge, who is thinking about the next future. And better than thinking, somebody's creating the trend as opposed to following the trend. So choose a partner, choose a vendor who is a thought leader, who is going in this territory. As I said, this direction is extremely important. You want to choose who you want to follow here and follow a thought leader. And last thing, somebody who is putting out beta test product out there, who is experimenting, who is putting something there, as opposed to the organization or the vendors who are saying, we're not sure how machine learning is going to evolve. Let's wait and then build the products. You don't want to do that, right? So you want somebody who's delivering, who has the products, even though the products are not perfect. It's okay. Go in that direction. So let me talk a little bit about Paradiso, switch gears a little bit here for next 4 minutes, and then we'll wrap up. So Paradiso is an end-to-end platform. We have a course catalog with 75,000 courses. We have an authoring tool, the Cognispark, which you can use with AI, without AI, so to build your courses. An LMS, LXP platform, which has been in market for over 12 years now, been used by hundreds of companies. If you're selling courses, we have an end-to-end e-commerce platform, which many training companies use. And we also have services, the strategy consulting, learner experience audits, customer support, and customization, whatnot. So it's an end-to-end platform, and that's how I designed Paradiso to be there from beginning to the end for the organizations. Most of our products will work with, if you have an existing platform you're already using, you don't need to right away change the vendor or move. We work very well with the Jabo, Cornerstone, or any NMS you have. It's basically plug and play for us, right? So next steps. What you want to do if you want to continue this conversation, um, you want to book, just a second, some issue here. Um, you want to book a meeting, a consultation. There are many e-learning consultants on this call. If you want to be a partnership about using our thought leadership material or products, book a demo consultation. And many people, right? You go back to your desk, you start getting into meetings and emails, you forget what you learned in this webinar. And I really, really hope you take at least one step, right? So we give some incentives for you to take some step within next 3 days. So if you book a meeting, just book it. You don't have to do the meeting in next 72 hours. And I'll tell you how to book the meeting. You get all these bonuses, 20% off, then free audit of your learner experience, your current learner experience, how to calculate ROI, templates and guides, voiceover tool where you can create 100 minutes of voiceover videos you can create. So it's worth about $6,700, right? And again, just to get you moving in that direction, let's take the first step and just hear out what's out there, what the future looks like. Now, what do? You can either type in Q&A section that you want a demo or a meeting, or there is a demo link on our website. You can go there. You can email. This is the easiest way for most of you, sales@paradisosolutions.com, or you can email me also if you want to chat with me about this, right? So these are the 3 ways you can connect with us if you wish to do that. We do this thought leadership webinars and videos quite often. So keep in touch with us so you can keep up with what's happening in the training and AI intersection, right?